Hello, I'm Malcolm Fleschner, here with my latest video blog. As you're probably aware, in recent years, the right wing in this country has faced something of a gay problem. First, Florida Congressman Mark Foley was forced to resign after having inappropriate sexual contact with male pages. Then came Idaho Senator Larry Craig's much-publicized arrest for soliciting sex from an undercover police officer in an airport men's room. Not to mention the numerous evangelical Christian leaders like Ted Haggard who've become so concerned about homosexuality that they keep going undercover to personally investigate the danger of taking meth and having sex with male prostitutes. Now, these events, combined with former head of the Republican National Committee Ken Mehlman's recent coming out, have led many people to ask, has the time come to end the existing don't ask, don't tell policy and allow gay men and women to serve openly in the Republican Party? Traditional Republicans will automatically answer, no, of course not, noting that Republicans have always stood firm against the homosexual agenda, whether that has meant speaking out against same-sex marriage, gay adoption, or handbag-carrying children's TV characters. The threat posed by homosexuality to the moral fiber of the nation is a subject frequently discussed by such upstanding GOP leaders as Book of Virtues author and degenerate gambler Bill Bennett, cancer-stricken wife-abandoner and serial adulterer Newt Gingrich, and, of course, the prostitute-frequenting and alleged diaper aficionado Senator David Vitter. But others who support ending the ban on gays openly serving in the GOP point to the way Republicans first welcomed African Americans in during the Reagan administration, a move that paved the way for future black GOP leaders like Clarence Thomas, Alan Keyes, and Michael Steele. Opponents, on the other hand, look back less favorably on this effort at integration, noting that it paved the way for future black GOP leaders like Clarence Thomas, Alan Keyes, and Michael Steele. But this analogy between gays and African Americans has a major flaw. With African Americans, the party could accept a few token blacks, who could then be trusted to go along with the traditional Republican agenda and effectively turn their backs on the rest of the black community. But the gay community is different. Not only would allowing even a single openly gay person in undermine the party's strict moral code, but as any staunch family values Republican will tell you, if there's one thing you don't want to do with the gays, it's turn your back on them. Now, the other big problem with allowing gays to serve openly in the Republican Party is the critical issue of unit cohesion. To do battle with the Democrats, Republicans in Congress need to operate in lockstep, never deviating from a single unified stance. But adding gays into the mix compromises that sort of unity. After all, if you're a Republican congressman, how can you stay focused on repeatedly saying no to the Obama agenda when all you can think about is saying yes to that hot young legislator with the gorgeous eyes who keeps looking your way every time he says, "Drill, baby, drill"? I mean, just consider what's happened to the Democratic Party. Even with the presidency and overwhelming congressional majorities, Democrats can barely pass anything but the weakest, most namby-pamby legislation. And is there any question why? Of course, it's because of the party's acceptance of openly gay members. Come on, like you could get anything done having to work every day next to a luscious piece of man-meat like that hunky Barney Frank. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because homosexuals can't serve openly doesn't mean that gays aren't welcome in the Republican Party. They just need to stay in the closet, repress their sexuality, and suffer their private torment in silence. That way, they serve as perfect examples of Republicans who are actually engaging in the kind of self-denial, abstinence, and sexual repression that right-wing Christians like these guys are always lecturing the rest of us about. See, everybody wins. Well, everybody important anyway. So until next time, this is Malcolm Fleschner for the Young Turks saying, stay strong, nation.